Out there, that left field wall that we all know now and love is the green Monsta. When Tom Yawkey got here, there was a shorter wall out there, maybe 25 feet high, 22 feet high, and in front of that short wall, there was a 10-foot high grass hill. Now, the wall was short because the ball didn't go very far when they built this place back in 1912, so they didn't have to worry about any home runs going over it, and the grass hill was in play because the balls didn't reach it, so people could sit out there and picnic and all kinds of stuff out there. It wasn't an issue. But by the time he got here, baseball itself had changed. The live ball era had started in the early 20s, and the ball was starting to fly a lot farther. They made the ball smaller and tighter. It used to fly more. And it was flying over that short wall pretty regularly. On the other side of that wall on Lansdowne Street, from before the ballpark's construction, was a row of car dealerships. It was called General Motors Row out there. And car dealerships have big plate glass windows, and they don't get along with baseballs really, really well. So the owner of the Red Sox was paying a lot of money for glass, and Tom Yawkey took over that obligation. He said, I'm not going to pay any more money for glass. And he also noticed one other thing. Those car dealerships were just about the height of that other wall. So people on top of the car dealerships were able to stand out there with their own dogs and their own beer and watch the game for free. So he said, they're going to take care of that. So he built that wall in the winter of 1933. He built it 37 feet 2 inches high and 231 feet long, the exact size it is right now. It is the biggest wall in baseball. And basically it's there to keep people from looking in and also to stop paying for glass. A couple of years later, in 1935, he put a screen on top of it, a 23-foot high screen, to catch even more balls up there. But it's got its own character, it's its own unique thing, not only because of its size, but it's got a lot of things on it that you will find no place else in baseball. First of all, it's green. Now, it was not green when he built it. It actually was navy blue with stripes on it, kind of like our friends down there to the southwest a little bit. It didn't matter what color it was because all of the entire wall and most of the other surfaces here were covered with advertising. That was the style back then. And the hitters were complaining because every game was a day game until 1947. They didn't put the lights up until June 47. And because of that, when a pitcher would throw a white ball, if it came out of white print, they couldn't see it. The batters would complain. They call that batter's eye. So for after the 1946 season, he said, all right, enough. I'm tired of listening to you guys complain. I'm taking all the ads down. They won't be there for 47. But when they took the ads down, they saw that the wall was kind of ratty. It was blue and ratty. And Gene Yawkey, Tom's wife, said, you know what, that looks awful. You got this great green grass and an ugly blue wall. We have to do something. Tom says, you're right, why don't we paint it? So they did paint it. They painted it this color green you're looking at now. This is a custom color. It's called Fen's Green, and the Red Sox own the copyright to this color. So you will never see this exact color anywhere in the world. You can't go to Home Depot and buy it. But you also will never see Fenway any other color, because we are going to turn 100 in less than a year. And at that point, we will be eligible for, and probably will be declared in the next couple of years, a National Historic Landmark. And when they do that, Fenway's never going anywhere. Fenway will never be changed, and the color will never change. So this is going to be Fenway's color, hopefully for the next 100 years. And it's a color you'll never see anyplace else in the world. Well, it's green by the 1947 season, and on opening day in 1947, somebody in the press box, which was just about at this level back then, took a look at the left field in front of that green wall and said, boy, there's a green monster over his shoulder. And the name stuck. He put it in his opening article on opening day, and it's been the green monster ever since the first part of 1947. It's got a couple of things on it that are nowhere else in baseball. It's got a scoreboard along the bottom of it that's manually operated. There are two people that operate the scores in there, and they update the inning-by-inning scores and also keep the American League scores up to date during the entire game. They go into a door which is next to the at-bat sign down there. Between W.B. Mason and at-bat, there's a doorway. And there's a room under there, and it's got tiles in it that are maybe 14 by 18 inches, and they weigh 2 or 3 pounds, and that's what they use to update the scores. Their only way of seeing out is along the bottom row of that scoreboard where it says at-bat, ball, strike, etc. They're horizontal slots like mail slots, and they're chest height. So they have to crouch down and look out on the field, and that's how they know what scores to put up. Now, they get the American League scores off the wireless internet now, wireless connection. They used to have to get them radioed down from the press box to keep it updated. So there's two guys in there that are responsible for that. Their working conditions are a little bit tough. That room has no heat, air conditioning, or running water in it, so there's no bathroom in there. It's very, very hot. It's probably 15 degrees hotter in there than it is here right now, because that's a tin wall, so the sun really bakes on it this summer. And in the fall and in the spring, it's pretty cold in there. It's damp, and it's a lot colder there. It's like a cave under there, so it's kind of a tough place to work. It's considered the most desirable job in Boston, however, even with those conditions. There is one guy that actually has been in there 20 years. The rest of them have changed over the time. We just got a couple of new ones this year. But one guy's been in there 20 years and never going to give that job up. Now in 2003, they added another part of the scoreboard. They put the National League scores up, sort of honoring interleague play, etc. Now the National League scoreboard is not accessible from underneath from that room. So there's a third guy that was hired back then. And his job is to pop that door open every time play stops for a long period of time, like a pitching change or an inning change. And he runs out of that door with a step ladder under his arm and a whole bunch of numbers and gets as many National League scores updated as he can before he has to dive back in there so they can throw the next pitch. So if you're at a game, you'll see him. You won't see him on TV because he's always in the commercial break. And if it's a game like the Yankees and the Red Sox, which always take 4 hours and 50 minutes, he kind of ambles out there. But a quick game with Wakefield, he kind of runs. He pretty much hustles. Now, you know, it's a job that a lot of people would want. Unfortunately, probably won't be available for you. Put your name on the list anyway. The other thing on that wall, and this is something totally unique to baseball, is if you look between the Red Sox Foundation sign and the Covidian sign, there's a ladder. You can all see it? Yeah. You see the shadow of it really clearly today. Guinness was here a couple of weeks ago.